Welcome, beautiful souls, to Vintage Mike Tales. I'm so glad you're here, and your support truly means the world. Today, let's dive into a story of love, passion, and destiny that will touch your heart. The crystal chandeliers cast diamonds of light across the ballroom, but Bruce Walter felt nothing but shadows. At 35, with sharp blue eyes that had forgotten how to truly see, and skin that rarely felt genuine warmth, he stood amid San Francisco's elite, a glass of champagne growing warm in his hand. Around him, laughter rang hollow, performative joy from people who measured worth in stock portfolios and square footage. "Bruce, darling," a woman in a dress worth more than most people's monthly rent glided toward him, her smile too bright, too practiced. "I have been dying to talk to you about that tech conference in Monaco. We should go together." He recognized the gleam in her eyes, not interest in him, but in what he represented. Walter Tech Industries, a net worth that made headlines. A life that looked perfect from the outside, but felt like slow suffocation from within. "I will have my assistant check my schedule," he said, the lie smooth from years of practice. She touched his arm, fingers lingering. "Do not be a stranger." He would not be. He would be what he always was, a ghost in his own life, present but not really there. Bruce left early, ignoring the disappointed looks from investors who wanted his attention, his money, his name attached to their ventures. The San Francisco night wrapped around him as he walked, needing air that did not taste like expensive perfume and desperation. That is when he saw them. An elderly couple sat in the window of a small cafe, the kind of place that did not serve $20 lattes. The man said something, and the woman threw her head back, laughing, really laughing, the kind that came from the soul. The man looked at her like she hung the moon, and she squeezed his weathered hand like he was her entire world. Bruce stopped walking. His chest tightened. This was what money could not buy. This genuine joy, this unguarded love, this feeling of being seen, not for what you owned, but for who you were. "This is ridiculous," he muttered to himself that night in his penthouse apartment, staring at the matchmaking service website on his laptop. The view of the city stretched before him, millions of lights representing millions of lives, and he had never felt more alone. But what choice did he have? Every woman he met asked about his car within 10 minutes, his house by 20, his portfolio by the end of the first drink. He was tired of being a bank account with a pulse. His finger hovered over the registration button. Then he clicked. Name, Bruce Arthur. Occupation, tech consultant, net worth. Prefer not to say. He smiled bitterly. Let them think he was ordinary. Let them see him, not his empire. Across the city, in a modest house in Oakland, Danielle Harold sat on her childhood bed, her dark eyes fixed on the cream-colored envelope like it might explode. Her smooth brown skin seemed to lose its warmth in the lamplight as she read the invitation again. 10-year college reunion. Come celebrate a decade of success. Success. The word tasted like ash. "Danny, you okay, baby?" Her mother's voice drifted up the stairs. "Fine, Mom." She was not fine. At 31, she was sleeping in her childhood bedroom, surrounded by participation trophies and dreams that had curdled into disappointment. The prototype she had poured her soul into for 3 years sat in the garage, rejected by every tech company in Silicon Valley. Not innovative enough. Too niche. We will pass. The breakup with Marcus had been the final blow. 3 years together, and he had left her the week after her biggest pitch rejection, saying he needed someone more stable, more successful. Translation, someone who was not a failure. Her phone buzzed. A text from Sophia Adam, her former best friend, now living the life Danielle had once imagined for herself. "Cannot wait to see you at the reunion. I am bringing James, remember him. We have been together since junior year. He just made partner at his firm. What about you? Bringing anyone special?" Danielle's jaw clenched. James, her college boyfriend. The one she had introduced to Sophia. The one who had somehow ended up with her best friend instead. She grabbed her laptop, fingers trembling with something between rage and desperation. She was not going to show up alone, pitied by everyone who had voted her most likely to succeed. She was not going to endure their sympathetic looks and thinly veiled judgment. Matchmaking made simple. Find your perfect match. "I'm not looking for love," she whispered to her empty room, clicking through the website. "I am just looking for one night. Just someone to stand beside me so I do not look pathetic." Her parents had been so supportive, never complaining when she moved back in, never making her feel like the burden she knew she was. Her father still asked about her prototype with genuine interest. Her mother still told her she was brilliant. But Danielle saw it in their eyes sometimes, the worry, the hope dimming just a little more each month. She filled out the profile, her heart hammering. Name Danielle Harold, age 31, occupation engineer. Looking for, honestly, someone to help me survive one night without falling apart. She deleted that last part, wrote something more generic, then hit submit before she could overthink it. The email came 3 days later. You have been matched. Danielle stared at the profile photo. Bruce, handsome in an understated way, with blue eyes that looked kind but guarded. Tech consultant, liked reading, long walks, genuine conversation. His profile made him sound normal, real. She called the number provided. Hello. His voice was warm. Careful, hi, this is Danielle. We were matched. God, this was mortifying. Bruce, nice to meet you, Danielle. Listen, I need to be upfront about something. She took a breath. I am not looking for a relationship, or even really a date. I have this college reunion, and I just need someone to come with me. One night, that is it. I am not in the right place in my life to talk about romance or anything serious. Silence stretched between them. Danielle closed her eyes, waiting for him to hang up, to tell her she was crazy. Okay, Bruce said softly. I can do that. One night. No expectations. Relief flooded through her, really, but Danielle. Something in his voice made her pause. Can I ask why? She should not tell him. She did not know him. But something about the way he asked, like he actually cared about the answer, made the truth spill out. Because I am tired of feeling like I have failed everyone, including myself. And I just need one night where I do not feel like that. Where I can pretend I am exactly where I am supposed to be. I understand that more than you know, Bruce said, and she heard the echo of her own loneliness in his words. They agreed to meet the following Friday, 3 days before the reunion. Coffee first, safe, simple. As Danielle hung up, she caught her reflection in the mirror. Her dark eyes held something they had not in months, a spark of something that felt dangerously close to hope. She could not afford hope. Not anymore. But maybe, just maybe, she could afford one night. Danielle changed her outfit 3 times before settling on a simple navy dress that made her brown skin glow. It is not a date, she told her reflection, but her hands still trembled as she applied lipstick. Her dark eyes stared back at her, trying to rebuild walls that had started cracking the moment she had heard Bruce's voice on the phone. The coffee shop was small, tucked between a bookstore and a flower shop. Through the window, she saw him, Bruce Walter, standing when she entered, blue eyes finding hers immediately. He wore a grey sweater that made him look approachable, real, not like the tech guys who had rejected her prototype while barely looking up from their phones. Danielle, he smiled, and something in her chest loosened. Bruce, she slid into the seat across from him, gripping her purse like a lifeline. Thanks for doing this. I know it is weird. It is not weird. His voice was gentle, but his eyes held their own guardedness, their own secrets. We all need someone sometimes. They talked for 2 hours. He asked about her engineering background, actually listening when she explained her prototype, a sustainable energy converter that nobody seemed to understand. He did not check his phone once, did not name drop or peacock, just listened. So this reunion, he said finally. What am I walking into? Danielle's jaw tightened. My former best friend sleeping with my college boyfriend. Everyone. I went to school with living their best lives while I am living in my childhood bedroom. The girl voted most likely to succeed, showing up as the biggest failure in the room. You are not a failure. You do not know me. I know you spent 3 years building something you believe in. That is not failure. That is courage. His blue eyes held hers, and she had to look away from the intensity there. Well, for one night, can you help me pretend I have it together? I can do better than that. I can remind you that you already do. The reunion was held at a hotel ballroom in downtown San Francisco, and Danielle's stomach churned as Bruce's hand found the small of her back, steadying her. Breathe, he whispered. I have got you. Why did those 3 words make her want to cry? They walked in together, and Danielle felt eyes turn, whispers ripple. Bruce stood tall beside her, his presence solid, reassuring. He was not flashy, but he commanded attention in a quiet way that made people look twice. Danny, Sophia glided over, perfect in a designer dress. Her arm linked through James's. James, who looked exactly the same. Except now his eyes held guilt instead of love when he looked at Danielle. You came, and who is this? Bruce. He extended his hand, his smile polite, but his body angled protectively toward Danielle. Nice to meet you. How did you two meet? Sophia's eyes gleamed with curiosity that felt like calculation. Through friends, Danielle said quickly. Bruce is in tech. He has been helping me with my prototype. Oh, you are still working on that? Sophia's tone dripped with false sympathy. That is so persistent of you. Danielle felt Bruce's hand press gently against her back, grounding her. Persistence is what separates dreamers from innovators, Bruce said smoothly. Danielle's work is brilliant. It is only a matter of time before the right people recognize that. James shifted uncomfortably. Good to see you doing well, Danny. Is it? The words slipped out before she could stop them. Awkward silence stretched between them until Sophia laughed. Too bright, too forced. Well, we should mingle. So many people to catch up with. As they walked away, Danielle's shoulders sagged. Sorry, I should not have. Do not apologize. Bruce turned to face her, his blue eyes fierce. He hurt you. She betrayed you. You do not owe them politeness. You do not even know the whole story. I know enough. The evening crawled forward. Former classmates approached with their perfectly curated lives. Promotions, engagements, houses in good neighborhoods. Each conversation felt like a paper cut, small but stinging. Danielle smiled until her face hurt, deflecting questions about her career, her relationship status, her life. Then Kevin Morrison, drunk and tactless, cornered them by the bar. Danielle Harold, heard you moved back in with your parents. Tough break, huh? Guess that most likely to succeed thing did not pan out. Danielle froze, humiliation burning through her. Bruce stepped forward, his voice low and controlled. Danielle is one of the most talented engineers I have ever met. She is working on technology that could change how we approach sustainable energy. The fact that you measure success by where someone sleeps, rather than what they create, says everything about you and nothing about her. Kevin blinked, taken aback. Dude, you were just being cruel to someone who is worth 10 of you. Bruce's hand found Danielle's. Come on, let us get some air. He led her to the hotel's rooftop terrace, away from the noise, the judgment, the suffocating weight of expectations. The San Francisco skyline glittered before them, and Danielle finally let herself breathe. You did not have to do that, she whispered. Yes, I did. Why? She turned to him, her dark eyes searching his face. Why do you care? This is supposed to be fake. One night, remember, Bruce was quiet for a long moment, his blue eyes reflecting the city lights. Maybe I'm tired of fake. Something shifted in the air between them. Dangerous, real. I should tell you something, Danielle said, the words tumbling out before she could stop them. My prototype, I have been working on it for 3 years. Every tech company in Silicon Valley has rejected it. My ex left me because I was too focused on a pipe dream. I am 31, living with my parents, and I feel like I am drowning. They have been so supportive, never complaining, always believing in me, and I feel like I am failing them, even though they would never say it. You are not failing them. How do you know? Because I see how you talk about your work, how your whole face lights up. That is not failure. That is passion. That is purpose. He moved closer. The right opportunity will come, Danielle. I believe that. You should not. You do not know me. I am starting to... His voice was soft, intimate. And what I am learning, I really like. Danielle's breath caught. This was not supposed to happen. She was not supposed to feel this pull, this connection. She had built walls for a reason. Bruce, I meant what I said. I am not looking for romance. I cannot do that right now. Maybe not ever, I know, but something in his eyes said he was already falling anyway. Already seeing past her defenses to the woman underneath. They stood in silence, the city breathing around them, both knowing something had shifted, but neither willing to name it. Thank you, Danielle finally said, for defending me, for seeing me. You did not have to do any of that. Yes, I did, Bruce repeated, because you deserve to be seen, exactly as you are. As they returned to the party, Danielle's hand still in his, she realized something terrifying. This man she had hired for one night of pretend had somehow become the most real thing in her life, and she had no idea what to do with that. The text came 3 days after the reunion. Coffee. I know you said one night, but I can't stop thinking about your prototype. Maybe I could help. No expectations. Just let me try. Bruce. Danielle stared at her phone, her heart doing something complicated in her chest. She should say no. She should keep her walls up, protect herself from the vulnerability she had felt on that rooftop terrace. Instead, she typed, "Okay, but just as friends." His response was immediate, just as friends. They met at the same coffee shop, and this time Danielle brought her laptop, her designs, 3 years of work condensed into files and sketches and equations that made her eyes shine despite herself. Bruce leaned forward, his blue eyes sharp with genuine interest as she explained the energy conversion process, the sustainable materials, the scalability issues she couldn't solve. "What if you approach the thermal regulation differently?" he asked, pulling out a pen. "May I?" She slid her notebook across the table, and he started sketching, his hands confident. He actually understood what she was trying to build. Within an hour, they had identified 2 potential solutions she had never considered. "How do you know this?" she asked, watching him work. "I've been in tech for a while." "You pick things up." He smiled, but something flickered in his eyes, something guarded. "Want to grab some materials and test the first approach?" "Now? Why not?" That's how it started. Coffee turned into supply runs. Supply runs turned into late nights in her parents' garage, surrounded by circuit boards and prototypes and possibility. Bruce showed up every evening after work, never empty-handed. Components, tools, coffee that actually tasted good. "How do you afford all this?" Danielle asked one night, 2 weeks in, gesturing at the expensive testing equipment he had brought. Bruce's hands stilled on the circuit board. "Savings." "I believe in this project, Danielle. I believe in you." She wanted to press, but something in his voice made her let it go. Her parents loved him. Her mother pulled Danielle aside after Bruce left one evening, her eyes knowing. "That man looks at you like you're the sunrise." "Mom, we're just friends." "Baby, I've been married 33 years. I know what just friends looks like." "That ain't it." Danielle's chest tightened. "I can't, Mom. I can't risk it." Her mother cupped her face, her brown skin warm against Danielle's. "Sometimes, the biggest risk is not taking one at all." 6 weeks after the reunion, Danielle's phone rang with a California number she didn't recognize. "Miss Harold, this is Jennifer Chen from Walter Tech Industries. We'd like to discuss a partnership regarding your sustainable energy prototype." Danielle nearly dropped her phone. "Walter Tech, one of the biggest tech companies in California." "I'm sorry, what?" "We've reviewed your proposal. We're very interested. Can you come in next week?" After she hung up, Danielle screamed. Actually screamed. Her parents rushed in, and she was laughing and crying and unable to form coherent sentences. She called Bruce immediately. "They want to meet with me. Walter Tech Industries wants a partnership." "That's incredible." His voice sounded strange, tight, almost pained. "You deserve this, Danielle. You deserve everything. We should celebrate. Come over tonight? I'll be there." Bruce arrived with champagne and Chinese takeout, and they sat in the garage surrounded by their work. Because it had become their work, hadn't it? 2 months of late nights, inside jokes, hands brushing accidentally on purpose. Moments where Danielle forgot to guard her heart. "I couldn't have done this without you," she said, her dark eyes soft in the dim light. "You believed in me when I had stopped believing in myself. You're brilliant, Danielle. Anyone with eyes can see that." "No." She moved closer, her brown skin glowing in the lamplight. "You saw me. Really saw me. Not the failure everyone else saw. Not the disappointment, just me." Bruce's blue eyes darkened, and suddenly the air between them felt electric, charged with 4 months of denial and growing feelings neither had named. "Danielle." She kissed him. It was soft at first, tentative, like she was testing whether this was real or another dream she would wake up from. But then Bruce's hand cupped the back of her neck, and he kissed her back with a passion that stole her breath. Months of restraint shattering in an instant. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Danielle pressed her forehead to his. I know I said I wasn't looking for this. I know I built walls, but Bruce, you made me feel again. You made me believe again. Not just in my work, but in myself. In this, I love you. The words escaped him raw, honest. I've loved you since the reunion, watching you be brave even when you were terrified. I love your passion, your brilliance, the way you light up when you solve a problem. I love all of you, Danielle. I love you too, she whispered, and felt the last of her walls crumble. God, I love you so much it terrifies me. He kissed her again, and this time it was everything. Promise and passion, and the beginning of something real. But that night, alone in his penthouse, Bruce stared at his laptop screen, at the Walter Tech Industries logo, at the partnership contract with his signature at the bottom. CEO Bruce Walter. He had meant to tell her. Every day for 2 months he had meant to tell her. But the words stuck in his throat, trapped behind the fear that she would look at him differently, that she would see the wealth, the power, the empire, and stop seeing him. She had asked how he afforded the equipment. He had lied. She had fallen in love with Bruce, the tech consultant, not Bruce, the CEO who had signed her partnership deal from his corner office, not the man who had been her benefactor while pretending to be her equal. His phone buzzed. A text from Danielle. Still can't believe this is real. Any of it, you, the partnership, finally feeling like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Bruce closed his eyes, guilt crushing his chest. He had to tell her, soon, before she found out another way. Before this beautiful, fragile thing they had built came crashing down. But not tonight. Tonight, he would let her be happy. Let them both be happy tomorrow, he would tell her tomorrow. 3 weeks passed. The partnership negotiations began. Danielle was radiant, arriving at each meeting, with confidence she had built from 2 months of late. Nights and Bruce's unwavering belief. She came home one evening laughing and kissed Bruce hard. They're so invested in this project. The CEO personally approved it. I haven't met him yet, but Jennifer says he rarely takes such a personal interest. Isn't that amazing? Bruce's smile felt like glass. Amazing, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm just so proud of you. But that night, lying beside her in the dark, her brown skin soft against his, her breathing deep and peaceful, Bruce knew he was running out of time. The truth was coming, and when it did, he might lose the only real thing he had ever had, the only woman who had ever loved him, not his money, not his status, just him. And he had no idea if that love would survive what he had hidden. The partnership signing was scheduled for Friday. Bruce had run out of time. Thursday evening, he sat in Danielle's parents' living room, his hands clenched so tight his knuckles were white. Her father had just congratulated him on helping Danielle achieve her dream. Her mother had hugged him, whispering, "You're part of this family now." The guilt was suffocating him. Danielle came downstairs, radiant in a simple sweater and jeans, her dark eyes bright with joy. "Ready? I want to show you the final modifications before tomorrow's meeting." "Danielle, wait." His voice cracked. "We need to talk." Something in his tone made her freeze. "What's wrong? Can we go to the garage, please?" They walked in silence, and Bruce felt every step like a countdown. In the garage, their space filled with 4 months of memories and breakthrough and falling in love, he finally turned to face her. "I haven't been honest with you." Danielle's brown skin seemed to lose its warmth. "What do you mean?" "My name is Bruce Walter." He watched her face, watched the confusion, then the slow dawning realization. "I own Walter Tech Industries. I'm the CEO. I'm the one who approved your partnership. I've been him the whole time." The silence stretched like broken glass. "You're lying." Her voice was barely a whisper. "I'm not." "I'm sorry, Danielle, all this time." She stepped back, her hands shaking. "Every question I asked about how you afforded the equipment, every time I talked about the partnership like it was this miracle. You knew and you said nothing. I wanted to tell you when." Her voice rose raw with betrayal. "When, Bruce? When were you going to tell me? After I signed the contract? After I'd already committed to a company owned by someone who's been lying to me for 4 months? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like?" Tears streamed down her face, and Bruce felt each one like a knife. Was this all some game to you? Some rich guy wanting to play with a struggling engineer? Did you laugh about it? Poor Danielle. So desperate for success she couldn't see she was being manipulated. No. He reached for her, but she jerked away. Danielle, please listen to me. I signed up for that matchmaking service because I was tired of people only seeing my money. Every woman I met wanted the CEO, the wealth, the status. Nobody saw me. And then I met you, and you saw me. Just me. Not what I owned or what I could buy. You fell in love with me, not my bank account. That's all I ever wanted. So you lied to get it? Her dark eyes blazed with hurt and fury. You built our entire relationship on deception. Everything we worked on together. That was your money, your resources, your company. I thought we were partners. I thought we were equals. But I was just another charity case for the billionaire, wasn't I? That's not true, isn't it? She laughed bitterly. God, I'm so stupid. The expensive equipment you claimed was from savings. The way you understood everything about tech infrastructure. How did I not see it? Because I was too desperate, too pathetic. Stop. Bruce's voice broke. Don't do that. Don't let my mistakes make you doubt yourself. Your prototype is brilliant. The partnership is real. Your success is yours, Danielle. I just wanted to be part of it. Part of your life. As myself, not as a checkbook. But that's who you are. Bruce, you can't separate yourself from your wealth when you use it to control everything around you. You controlled this whole situation. You controlled our relationship. I fell in love with you, he said desperately. Everything else was real. My feelings, my belief in you, the way I see you, all of that was real. How can I believe anything you say? She wrapped her arms around herself. And Bruce had never seen her look so small, so broken. Marcus left me because I wasn't successful enough. And you swooped in, pretending to be someone you're not, manipulating everything. I trusted you. I loved you. And it was all built on lies. Not all of it. Get out. Her voice was quiet now, deadly calm. Get out of my house. Out of my life. Danielle, get out. Bruce left, his heart shattered, knowing he'd destroyed the best thing that had ever happened to him. Danielle didn't sleep that night. She sat in the garage, surrounded by the prototype, by the ghost of his presence, and replayed 4 months in her mind. The reunion. How he'd defended her with a fierceness that seemed personal. The late nights. How he'd never once made her feel less than, even when she doubted herself. The money he'd spent. Thousands, no, tens of thousands of dollars on her dream. The patience. 4 months of respecting her walls, never pushing, just being there. The love in his blue eyes every time he looked at her. Was that fake too? Her mother found her at dawn, still sitting in the dark. Baby? He lied to me, Mom, about everything. Her mother sat beside her, taking her hand. Did he lie about loving you? I don't know. How can I know? That man spent 4 months helping you build your dream, 4 months respecting your boundaries. Never once did he use his wealth or power to pressure you. He could have revealed who he was that first night, and swept you off your feet with fancy dinners and promises. But he didn't. He chose to be just Bruce, to let you fall in love with him. Not his money. He still lied. Yes, he did, and that was wrong. Her mother squeezed her hand. But ask yourself, why did he lie? To manipulate you? Or to protect something real? Danielle closed her eyes, her heart warring with her head. 2 weeks of silence. 2 weeks of Danielle avoiding calls, messages, the partnership meeting she'd rescheduled. 2 weeks of feeling like she was drowning again. Then on a Tuesday evening, her doorbell rang. Bruce stood on her porch and he looked wrecked. His blue eyes were red-rimmed, his face hollow. In his hands he held a folder. I'm not here to ask for forgiveness, he said, his voice hoarse. I'm here to tell you the truth, all of it. He opened the folder. Inside were documents, his matchmaking profile where he'd hidden his wealth, screenshots of dates where women had immediately asked about his car, his house, his net worth, messages from gold diggers, social climbers, people who'd never once asked him about his day, his dreams, what made him laugh. This is my life, Danielle. For 10 years, this is all I've known. People who see dollar signs instead of a person. I was drowning in it. And then I saw this elderly couple at a cafe, just happy together, and I realized I'd never had that. Real love, genuine connection. He pulled out more papers. These are my personal bank statements. Every cent I spent on your prototype. I never filed it as a business expense. This was me as a man investing in someone I believed in, someone I loved. Tears streamed down his face. I hid my wealth because I was terrified you'd stop seeing me and start seeing my money. And I was wrong. I should have trusted you. I should have trusted what we had. But Danielle, his voice cracked, raw and broken, you fell in love with me. Not my money, not my status, not what I could give you. You fell in love with the man who sat in your garage at midnight, troubleshooting circuits, the man who brought you coffee, and actually listened when you talked about energy conversion. You fell in love with me at my most real, most vulnerable, most human. And that's all I ever wanted in this entire goddamn world. Danielle's hands trembled as she took the folder. Looking at the evidence of his loneliness, his desperation for something authentic. I was wrong to lie, Bruce continued, his blue eyes holding hers with devastating honesty. I was wrong to hide who I was, but I wasn't wrong about us, about what we built together. That was real. Every moment, every laugh, every breakthrough, that was us. Two people who saw each other, really saw each other. I don't know if I can trust you again, Danielle whispered. I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life earning it back if you'll let me. But if you can't, if this is goodbye, I need you to know something. He stepped closer, close enough that she could see the sincerity burning in his eyes. You are not a charity case. You are not a failure. You are the most brilliant, passionate, courageous woman I have ever met. Your success is yours, with or without me, with or without Walter Tech. You were always going to make it, Danielle. I just wanted to be there when you did. He turned to leave, and something in Danielle fractured. Wait, Bruce froze. That night on the terrace, she said softly, when you said you were tired of fake, did you mean it? Every word. And in the garage when you told me you loved me? I've never meant anything more in my life. Danielle looked at this man, this broken, honest, flawed man who'd spent 4 months showing her his heart while hiding his wallet. And she realized something. Marcus had left her when she had nothing. Bruce had stayed, helping her build everything, expecting nothing in return but her time, her trust, her heart. I'm still angry, she said. You should be, and hurt, I know. But I'm also in love with you. The admission felt like breaking and healing at the same time. I'm in love with the man who believed in me, who saw me, who made me feel like I was enough exactly as I was. And that man, whether he's a tech consultant or a CEO, that man is real, isn't he? Yes, Bruce's voice broke. God, yes. Then we figure this out together, with honesty this time. Complete honesty, I promise. No more secrets. No more lies. She stepped into his arms, and he held her like she was everything he'd ever searched for. I love you, Danielle Harold. All of you. Your brilliance, your passion, your dreams, your fears, all of it. I love you too, Bruce Walter. But if you ever lie to me again, I won't, I swear it. 6 months later, Bruce knelt in that same garage where they'd built her prototype, where he'd confessed his lies, where they'd rebuilt trust piece by piece, conversation by conversation, truth by truth. Danielle Harold, you are my equal, my partner, my heart. Will you marry me? Her dark eyes filled with tears as she said yes. The wedding was small, intimate, her parents crying happy tears, his few genuine friends celebrating something real. When Bruce looked at Danielle in her wedding dress, her brown skin glowing, her eyes bright with joy, he thought of that elderly couple in the cafe. This was what money couldn't buy. This love, built on truth and trust and seeing each other completely. When it came time for the vows, Bruce took her hands, his blue eyes glistening. Danielle, I spent years searching for something real in a world full of facades, and then I found you. You saw past everything, past the walls I'd built, past the persona I'd created, and you saw me. I promise to always be that man, the one who sits with you at midnight solving problems, the one who believes in your dreams as much as you do, the one who sees you, truly sees you every single day. I promise honesty always. I promise partnership, not control. I promise to love you not despite your struggles, but through them, beside them, celebrating every victory as ours. You are my heart, Danielle, today and every day after. Danielle's tears fell freely as she squeezed his hands. Bruce, you walked into my life when I'd stopped believing in love, in myself, in the possibility of something real. You didn't try to fix me. You didn't try to save me. You just saw me, and in seeing me, you helped me see myself again. I promise to trust you even when it's hard. I promise to choose us every single day. I promise to build our life together, with the same passion we built that prototype. With patience, with honesty, with hands working side by side. You taught me that love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, being real and fighting for what matters. And you, Bruce Walter, you matter. We matter, today and always. There wasn't a dry eye as they kissed, sealing promises built on truth, struggle, and the kind of love that only comes from seeing someone completely and choosing them anyway. 1 year later, they welcomed twins, Austin and Aria. Bruce held his daughter while Danielle cradled their son, and they looked at each other with the kind of love that transcends wealth, status, and everything else the world says matters. "We did it," Danielle whispered. "Yeah," Bruce said, his blue eyes soft. "We really did." And in that moment, surrounded by the family they'd built and the love they'd fought for, they had everything that mattered. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. Thanks for staying with me till the end. Love has a way of finding us in the most unexpected places. Remember, every heart has a story waiting to be told. Your support means the world. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep these tales coming. Until next time, keep your hearts open and keep believing in love. Vintage Mike Tales.